Some 60 years ago, an Arizona woman's quest for an abortion riveted the nation, and some say helped pave the way for the Roe v. Wade decision, which, as you know, was just overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court. Major Garrett takes us back in time.
Sherri Chessen was a married mother of 4 and star of Romper Room, a children's TV show in Phoenix where she was known as Miss Sherri.
Romper, bumper, stomper, boo, tell me, do.
That year, she became pregnant and to treat morning sickness, took a sedative her husband Bob Finkbein brought back from Britain.
What I did was poison myself with a drug whose name I didn't even know.
That drug, she later discovered, contained thalidomide, a chemical linked to severe birth defects.
We have our 4 children to consider. I think we're doing
Sherri and Bob, not wanting to bring a child with a congenital disorder into their family, opted for an abortion, which at the time was only available in rare cases.
In all the soul searching I have done, I sincerely feel that I would not be giving life to anything. I feel that I would be giving a kind of living death.
First, though, with the promise of anonymity, Chessen called the local newspaper to warn the community about thalidomide. The story rocked Phoenix. Chessen's name leaked out, and the hospital canceled the abortion after the local prosecutor threatened legal action.
I feel mentally like about a 1/10 of what I used to be.
Soon, Chessen's painful story was in the pages of Life magazine, and the nation began to ponder the deeper complexities of abortion and a woman's choice. Eventually, a hospital in Sweden promised to provide the abortion, so the couple flew to Stockholm, their every move covered by an aggressive press corps.
Now that it's all over, do you still think that you've done the right thing?
More than ever. I mean, I don't know if it was womanly intuition or the God inside of me said, don't have this baby, and I didn't, and now I know it was the right decision.
Threatening letters piled up. The FBI provided security for the family, and the Vatican condemned Chessen and called the procedure murder.
It was a good thing. It was an honest thing. It was a thing any mother would do to save her own child from suffering.
I remember waking up after the operation and saying to the Swedish doctor, was the baby a boy or girl? And he said, it was not a baby. It was an abnormal growth that never would be a normal child.
That August, the same month of her abortion, President Kennedy praised a top Food and Drug Administration official, Dr. Francis Kelsey, for keeping thalidomide out of America.
Recent events in this country and abroad concerning the effects of a new sedative called thalidomide emphasize again the urgency of providing additional protection to American consumers from harmful or worthless drug products.
In the years after Chessen's 1962 case, some states legalized abortion. When the Supreme Court defined abortion as a constitutional right in 1973, 13 states already allowed the procedure. Chessen knew a world without Roe's constitutional protections. Now she, like the rest of America, has been cast back into a world without them.
We can't go back to willow sticks and knitting needles and all the things that women have perforated their uteruses with.
60 years on and 3 weeks shy of 90, Sherri Chessen is a bit fragile, but focused and fierce about what has been lost.
The Supreme Court may be surprised to know there is light in what they've done. They have empowered women everywhere. I feel it, my granddaughters feel it. Added to all of that is a great dose of anger. And we as women, I will say it again and again, we shall prevail.
Chessen's thoughts about abortion are, like the issue itself, layered and complicated. She thinks of herself as pro-choice and anti-abortion.
Some people think it's a form of birth control. If I go out and get pregnant, I can have an abortion. No, that's not the reality of abortion. The abortion has a great, ugly forelife, if you will say, where you think, can I, should I? There's a lot of tears for a lot of people, and the aftermath is horrendous.
Chessen says she never set out to be an abortion rights activist.
I didn't know a thing about abortion. My abortion was to me the most hateful and yet the most loving thing I ever did, but I didn't know a thing about it.
What you wanted to do was warn people about thalidomide.
Exactly.
That had to have been a scary time.
It was very scary, and I just heard on the radio yesterday where women here are being, because of the trigger laws, are being thrown out of their doctor's office. I know how that feels, because you know what? 60 years ago, it'd be 60 years in, don't do the math, in August, I was thrown out of my doctor's office, out of the city and out of the state.
After her abortion, the TV station fired Chessen, telling her she was no longer fit to be around children. They gave her another, less prominent show, but when she got pregnant again, she was fired for that, too.
Think of the irony, Major. I didn't have a baby, and I lost my beautiful, wonderful romper room job. And I did have a baby, and I lost my beautiful, wonderful job. Make up your mind.
I remember both my parents sitting me down, and they didn't use the word abortion. They told me that Mommy had a bad seed inside her, and the doctors were going to take it out.
Chessen's daughter, Terry Finkbein Arnold, was 7 years old in 1962.
All the press was there, and they had all these cameras with the old-fashioned flash bulbs that would pop and hiss. I was terrified.
Chessen had 2 more children after the abortion.
This is baby number 6.
Kristen Atwell Ford still lives in the Phoenix area.
She paid dearly for standing up for herself and her family, but I wouldn't be here if she hadn't done that.
No, she wouldn't be here, because if I had had to carry a baby around in a basket, I mean, it would have been impossible. I never, ever, ever would have had another child.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that my mother stood up to the state of Arizona, to the United States, and found a way to determine what was best for her and her family. She's my hero.